All right, guys. I want to thank you guys both, Caprice and Kelly, for talking to me today regarding Brooke Ellensworth disappearance. She's a missing person still, as of today, and has been since 2018. Thank you guys both for joining me. I know that there's a lot of controversy over this case, because there's so many. It sounds like a lot of people in locally were involved in trying to find her and are still involved in one way or another. Would you guys agree?
Yes.
Okay. And I'll share with you guys, as I've shared before, I came across Brooke's story through a message that I got from one of my subscribers who said, Rabbit, you need to look into this. And then I found Miss Shelley's post. Again, shout out to Miss Shelley. I believe she was a little bit upset with us. That's absolutely, there is no, I'm not trying to offend her or anything. If the goal is to really find Brooke and get a dive team out there, that's what the goal should be, right?
Yeah,
Right.
I think there was a lot of confusion. So I think
Yeah.
everything is okay. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
shout out to her. No hard feelings.
Yeah.
Miss Shelley, you guys go show her some love. We have no hard feelings for her over here. Caprice, what is your relation to the family?
I am friends with Kelly.
Okay. But you don't know Brooke, correct?
No, I never knew Brooke. No.
Okay. As far as the disappearance of Brooke, Kelly, is there anything that you can share about what are the details, or at least what's known out to public?
Okay. Well, she disappeared July 12th, 2018. It was the last day that she was seen. Um and sorry, I'm a little bit nervous. Um,
It's okay. Take your time, okay? You're fine.
like I said, like we had everybody knows, she got her hair done, her nails done, um, two separate occasions. And she kept having a flat tire, and that was one of the strange things to me. I don't know if it was, a nail got somewhere in the wrong spot, who knows. um but she supposedly broke down on the side of the road, is a story about, she was seen on the side of the road, trying to fix her tire. um let's see. The last person's house that we know that she went to was her first husband's. And then we don't know if she was alone or with someone, but then she left there and was never seen again, as far as we know.
Now at the salon the day was that the night before she went missing or the night that she went missing, she had a friend with her at the time. And
Yeah,
since then, that friend she will not speak to anybody about this. Like, she will not talk to anybody.
she's scared.
Has she been cooperating with law enforcement about this?
Yes.
Is her case still an open missing person case?
As far as far as I know, yes. There are no, there's not like a death certificate or anything. I know that can happen after a few years. Um, but yeah, it's still open as far as I know.
Kelly, when was the last time you spoke with law enforcement about, like, have you got any updates about anything at this point?
I personally have not. They talked to the parents. Um, so when it comes to myself and law enforcement, we are not really on the same. We just don't do the communication. We'll just put it that way.
Okay, so the communication more so goes through Brooke's parents. Or do you guys have separate parents? Do you mind if I ask that, just to clarify?
Same dad, different moms.
I see. Okay. But would you consider yourself to have been very close, or that you're close with Brooke at this point?
Oh yeah, I mean, we She at the time she went missing, we hadn't spoken in a while, and um she would call and check in every so often, like with my dad, or her mom. Um and then everything, we knew that she was okay. And then whenever the day came that I guess, the parents were like, okay, it's been too many days. We haven't heard anything. So a missing person uh, was filed um, in two counties, in Independence County and White County.
Okay. I don't want to get into. I know she's a mother of three, and it's my understanding that her children are being taken care of. I don't really want to get into that piece. Uh, but would you say that? I mean, when was the last time? Did you talk to her the day she went missing, or was it prior to that? How did it lead up to? When was the last conversation that you had with her?
The day before she disappeared, she sent me a message on Messenger and said, "Hey, girl, what are you doing?" And I was like, nothing, what's up? And I hit her back a couple minutes later. And when she responded, she said, "Oh, nothing, never mind. I've got it taken care of." So I didn't know what she needed, what she wanted. I didn't know, um, you know, I didn't know it was the last time I was going to talk to my sister. I had no clue. But
Yeah.
if I could have answered sooner, and then I beat myself up about that. Any family member does. If I could have just been a little faster, maybe she'd still be here. I don't know.
I'm so sorry, Kelly.
I'm not trying to be emotional. We're just gonna do facts here.
Yo, that's your sister.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
allowed to be emotional about all
Thank,
of that.
thank you.
Yeah, yeah. I'm so sorry. And I mean, I have a sister. I have sisters as well. I would imagine, if that was the last conversation that you had, like that would not be the only thing you would want to say, or even think that would be the last thing you'd say to her.
Right.
Right. That's what
Ooh.
kind of tugged at my heartstrings, was if it were my sister, I would never want to give up on finding her. And it broke my heart that Kelly went through this, because I was so close with my sister, and I just lost my sister this year to cancer. And
Oh, I'm sorry, Caprice.
not being able to put her in, actually have her at rest, know where she's at, I don't know that I could handle it. And so I mean, my heart goes out to Kelly, and wanting to at least give her peace of finding Brooke, finding her body, getting her put to rest.
And that's why everyone thinks I'm crazy. Is because I've
No.
pushed and tried and searched and looked and
And the bad thing is a lot of people aren't taking it serious. I mean, it's like she's kind of went missing in the shadows. So we thought whenever AWP decided to come in and search that we had a break.
we
This
were
was going,
happy.
yeah, this was going to be our biggest break. We were going to find Brooke. We had somebody interested in helping. And so between, the JoJo's, the Kelly, everybody was so excited. And they came, and of course y'all saw what happened. It actually turned out to be like a blooper show, really.
Right. And I want to say one thing. Shelly Shelly is not a fangirl. She didn't even know who they were until
Yeah.
hours before they showed up. She was just so we were all thrilled. Like Capri said, we were
I
all
would be
thrilled.
very excited
And she
if
has her,
the
yeah,
YouTubers that are a dive team, that yes, they have a big channel, but they are basically trying to help my family member.
right,
Fangirl wouldn't even express the emotion that I would feel over having these gentlemen do what they do, and then for free, right? After not
Right.
getting so many answers. So I don't think based on what you told me and Miss Shelley told me, and the mess and everything that I've seen, I don't think she was a fangirl whatsoever. I think that she was just so happy to see some
It was
movement
2
here.
Yeah.
years of blood, sweat, and tears over this case, and you're finally feeling like you're getting a break. Somebody is taking this serious.
Yeah, it's
Somebody
exciting.
is wanting to help, you know. And then from what expired, I mean, what transpired that day with them going out there looking for her, and then okay, we've got the we didn't see anything. You know, your video's fixing to come out. It took them 3 months to put the video out, which was a little disheartening because we were just overjoyed wanting to see, you know, like we knew we had spots marked off the list. And
Yeah.
then 3 months later, find out that, hang on, there is something there, you know, and then now we couldn't get anybody to touch this case. And here Kelly is thinking, okay, what if that is my sister down there? What do I do? And nobody's wanting to do anything to go back in and try to get her. I know Shelly tried. We've tried to figure out like who could do it, who could go back in. The cops didn't want to do it. It was very disheartening. Like it really was. And it come out like a blooper, and it made a mockery of Brooke's case.
Yeah,
Oh
and you
my
know,
God.
everybody involved, and I'm talking about the good people, have worked so hard. And you know, I mean, yes, props to Shelly. She has worked very hard on this case. Um, but you know, I'm just appreciative of everybody that has helped, wanted to help, shown up, helped search, strangers, you know. It's just, we want this to be an ending to, well, we want an ending, obviously, but
Right.
we want her to be at rest. That's our goal. Um, you know, Shelly and I are going to have to come together and work on this because she was there, I was there. We're going to have to collaborate. That's just all there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just how it's going to have to be. And I think that she knows it's all about Brooke. We all have good hearts on this case. We just have to get on the same page and get it in motion.
Can I ask you, let's go back a little bit because I feel like we're getting a little bit ahead, just a little bit. Talk about the day that you found out about AWP. Who coordinated that? And then we'll go from there to when they came down and everything that went down.
I'll interject something here. Okay. I had heard about AWP through a couple of other searches that they had done on YouTube. I had messaged them myself, but I do know that Dee Wallace also messaged them, like begging them to come help Kelly. She was another victim's mother, and she had messaged them. I believe there were a few other people that had messaged them. And then finally, I think it was Dee that finally got through to them, and they said that they would come. Now, Kelly, you can go ahead and interject there anything that you have on that, because that's the part that I remember.
No, I mean, you're spot on. That's, yeah, you said it all, really, you know.
And there was no charge to the service. They didn't say, "Hey, we're going to charge you this," or anything like that.
No.
No, I mean, there was no mention of money. No,
Did you have to sign any waivers or anything like that?
it was most just verbal. Like I said, okay, and they came. Family member, you know.
So you didn't sign anything that would consent for your likeness, your image to be used. No paperwork was signed. Am I hearing that correctly?
Yeah, yes, you
There's
are.
no paperwork. No paperwork trail, no nothing.
Wow. Okay, because my understanding, and I only say this is because the way they work is you have to sign, like if you agree to their services, you have to sign paperwork about the footage that's captured, that it belongs to them, yada, 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 that type of thing. You guys did not sign anything whatsoever.
The only thing that they did is Shelly had some of her own video of that day, and they just told her not to release that until they told her to. But other than that, there was nothing signed. Everything was verbal.
Do you know if Shelly signed on behalf of anybody?
No, she did not
No,
sign anything.
it was never
Wow.
discussed.
Okay. I'm so glad that we clear that, because I think that that kind of is, number one, it's helpful to know. The footage is in private right now. So I don't know if there's capability of obtaining any of it. I don't know if it requires a subpoena. I don't know what it requires to figure out, like, if there's other images in there in terms of the sonar, right?
Right. Yeah, 'cause we've never saw the actual whole video. Nobody's ever saw the whole video before they edited it.
Somebody in my comments left me the link to the video, and it's not deleted, it's put on private.
Oh.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's the exact same link, but they're saying that it is. Click on that link and it says private. So what that tells me is that they just privated the video. They never deleted it. It's still in their YouTube channel, if that makes sense.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. 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 Just doing some little research here and there in the background. Okay. So then AWP comes. What do you remember what day of the week they came, or the date that they came down?
It was in October.
Kelly, you were there, correct?
Yes.
Caprice, were you there that day?
No, I was not.
Okay. Tell me, Kelly, how that day kind of went down, as far as you guys met up with them, which pond, how did it all go down?
Okay, so I was running late as usual, and
she said as usual. I love it. Go ahead.
So Shelly and Amy Jo and Tracy had already met with them, and they were already like on site at the 4 ponds. And so anyway, they had to come pick me up, but whatever, that's not really part of the story. And so we went back up out there, and they got the boats out, and I mean, they were, we chatted and we did the videos, and how to help each other and everything and what they do. And then they got the boats out and did their thing in the waters, and they came back and said it was clear.
They found nothing in the 4 ponds?
Correct. We go to another lake.
Okay.
I think it's called Bergen Lake. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. And that was the other body of water that we checked. And then that was clear. And then, we discussed, and then they were on their way.
How many body of waters did you guys check that day?
So 2. They're when I say 2, the first one is a huge, like 4 separate ponds in one. And then the other one is like a mile down the road.
Okay.
Yeah, the 4 ponds is like one actual location, but it's 4 different ponds that's connected.
All right.
I guess the reason, or maybe I'm jumping ahead. The reason.
No, that's going to be my next question. You read my mind. What led you guys to the water?
Okay, so there were rumors, lots of rumors, more so about the 4 ponds, and there was a couple, and we felt the trust in them, that they knew for sure, and that's what led us there. Honestly, I mean, it's just, you have to go by what you hear on these cases, because no one's really saying a whole lot, obviously. But I don't know, Caprice, is there anything you can think of?
There were people that kept saying, well, her body's in Mofield's 4 ponds. I mean, that's where we've heard that they put her, and they put her in a barrel and put her in the 4 ponds. I mean, there was more than one source that said that. And actually, when you start hearing all these rumors, you kind of bunch them together on the ones that are the same. And the Four Ponds was the ones that added up the most, coming from different people.
Wow. So, had police, anybody in the agency looked at the ponds before AWP came in?
Not that I'm aware of.
You guys let law enforcement know about, or whoever the detective was assigned, about the Four Ponds and the rumors and all this stuff?
From my understanding, yes, they had been told that there was rumors about a grain bin. There was rumors about the Four Ponds. That's my understanding. Now, me personally, no. I'm not even really from the area. But from my understanding, several people had told them about the rumors that were going around. And they checked the White River. Am I right, Kelly?
Yeah, they
They
did.
checked a piece of the White River, and that was it.
Like 11-mile radius of where her car was found. I believe it's 11-mile radius.
Now, there is something else that's strange about where her car was found. And Kelly, you may have to correct me on this.
Okay.
Her keys were in her car. Her cigarettes were in her car. There was
I'm
one
not
shoe.
sure. I'm not sure. Were her keys? Now, her keys. Are we?
Were they in the car? I know her cigarettes and her purse was, right?
Yes, her cigarette,
Okay.
purse, her phone. I don't know about the keys though.
And then there was one shoe found outside her car, just one.
It was outside. Okay.
I'm believing that's what the story was, that there was that one shoe.
Well, she had 2 different shoes on. Remember?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. I don't remember a shoe being found outside the car. Um, but she had 2 different shoes on, and we're not sure about that either.
It's
What
just
about her
strictly rumors.
purse? Her purse and her, like, her personal items, were those in the car? Do we know anything?
She had a big black Victoria's Secret bag in the passenger side. Um, like I said, I mean, her cigarettes and phone and wallet and some other things, just weird. I mean, she wasn't robbed or anything, so it
It's
wasn't
almost
about.
like she just disappeared. And I mean, who gets out and goes anywhere without their cigarettes if they're a smoker, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask a question, and you don't have to answer. But did she have any type of substance abuse problem?
Yes, she did.
Had it ever occurred to anybody throughout the search that she might have met with someone?
I mean, it's a possibility that she could have to meet someone.
Okay.
The last time her last location. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Yes. But I can't prove that,
There
Yeah.
was a lady that said that she actually passed by that night and saw Brooke on the side of the road at another location trying to fix her tire, and there was supposedly a state trooper car there with her.
Oh.
Yeah, this is the night before, right, Caprice?
The night before before
Yeah.
actually she was officially, nobody had seen her.
Yeah.
Did anybody contact the state trooper and ask, like, hey, did you see this woman? Did you help her out or anything like that?
I don't know if that's been investigated personally. I have not heard.
I haven't either, but right after that's whenever all her missing poster signs went up. And at that time, nobody had any information on her. Nobody come out and said that they had seen her. Nothing.
Well, the communication with law enforcement. I mean, what do they have a study? Is this a cold case at this point? Do we know what this case is at this point?
I mean, honestly, I mean, it's. I think it's like. I don't want
They
to
did
say.
a Monday night mystery on her. How long ago, Kelly?
Oh, I don't know times very
They did
well.
a Monday night mystery on her within the last year about her missing in Arkansas.
Yes.
She was featured on Dateline on the missing persons thing that they do for Dateline. And there's still a lot of podcasts as well as, I don't know, channels that talk about her. But that not a whole lot has come up as far as finding her.
That's all that I know of. What about, I don't know, Kelly, what about you?
Yeah, that's
Okay. AWP. So then they clear everything. They don't find anyone, right? You guys
Right.
don't see the video until about 3 months. Am I hearing that correctly?
Correct.
correct.
And then you guys did not watch the video, correct?
Yes, I watched the video after it was released. Yes.
Did you see the sonar, or like how did
I
it come
did. I
about?
took a picture. I took a picture of the sonar because I saw something there and I'm like, what is this? Because he had his finger kind of right there beside it. So I took a picture of that and I actually sent it to Sam.
Oh,
And
okay.
asked him what was going on. Like, what is this in this picture? He said, where did you get that picture? And I said, from y'all's video. And he said, well, I haven't seen the video. I've been with my family. We've been, I've been out of town with my family, my fiance or whatever. He said, I haven't had a chance to even look at anything. He said, I'll talk to Jared and I'll get back with you. And then I never heard anything back from him.
Okay. Did you
Then
guys
I brought
try
it.
contacting him again?
I contacted him again the other day. And he told me that he wanted it to be looked at again. He was glad that it was being looked at again. And that he couldn't come personally. He didn't think it was a good idea. And he also wasn't financially able to. And he really didn't want the family exploited by a bunch of YouTubers. So he wanted somebody that wasn't well. He said he would suggest somebody that wasn't well known. Because he didn't want Kelly and them to be exploited again. He did tell me that Jared never even told him that he saw anything down there.
But who was holding the camera and showed it? Is what I want to know.
That would have been the camera guy. Wouldn't that have
Yeah.
been the camera guy? I don't know who
Yeah.
was the camera guy at that time. I don't know if it was Josh or who it was, but
No. So what I don't understand is, if mockery of us, why would he put that sonar clip in there? Was that a mistake? Did he accidentally leave it in there? You know what I'm saying?
Well, did they even notice it?
Right.
that's
Right.
what I'm
Right.
wondering.
Like, could they even tell that that's what was there? Whew, okay.
Jared did throw a magnet down in the water at one point, if I'm not mistaken. Am I right, Kelly?
I think,
He
yeah.
threw a magnet down and said, "Oh, nothing grabbed. So there's nothing here." But barrels are not necessarily metal. I mean, they have plastic barrels too.
Yeah.
I saw a video where they were showing the magnet. So I was able to see, okay, this is what the magnet looks like. When one of the Shelly videos that she did, I was able to see what the magnet looked like.
Right.
That they would use.
Okay, here's their equipment. They're fast. This is the sonar equipment. This is a pretty big pond. Y'all, I know the footage is probably bad, but it's a big pond. But they said they can, what'd you say, about an hour? And they don't put their wetsuits on until you find a target.
Yeah, so we'll be using the Hummingbird today.
Okay.
With that, we have a 360. If we spot any targets, the first thing we do is we start with the down imaging and the side imaging.
Oh.
With the side imaging, it is cast out to the sides, and we can, depend on the depth of the lake, and if the bottom is like pretty much silty, we don't have a lot of rocks, we can scan 80 to 100 feet real easy, real fast. So if you think about the lake is only 500, 600 feet wide, we're only gonna need 4 or 5 passes to cover the entire lake.
Cool. And
If we spot anything, then we circle back around to it, and the side imaging, actually we can then kick over to 360, so we can park right over the target, do some 360, identify where it's at, and then we have the magnet in here as well, so that way, if we suspect a barrel or anything of metal, we'll toss that on there, latch onto it, mark it, now we'll come back and dive on it.
This is so cool, y'all.
Yeah.
These guys are incredible. And again, this is Adventures with a Purpose, and we are looking for Brooke Allensworth and possibly Michael Morris, because that's what we've heard. It's a murder we haven't worked on, but behind the scenes a little bit, and we've heard that he might be with her out here in one of these ponds. We're searching this one first, and then there's 3 more, and then if we don't find her in the ponds, then we can mark them off the list. So it's still a win insofar as process of elimination, right?
It looks like this has been a place to drop off a boat.
It really does. It really
And
does.
nobody comes out here. This is private property. I mean, around here you get shot for going on private property.
Yeah.
So,
is this the one that belongs to your uncle?
no. The one
Okay, I'm gonna cut the video for now, and then we'll do some more in a little bit.
I know that they did throw a magnet in a spot, and he said, "There's nothing here. Let's move on." I mean, nothing grabbed. But I mean, a body's not going to collect a magnet. A plastic barrel's not going to grab a magnet.
Right.
Right. Oh my gosh. Okay. So then the video comes out. You see that image. Caprice, you contact Sam the Adventure Man. Do you still have that email or that message that shows your contact to them?
The only one that I had is what I sent to you the other night. I don't have that actual conversation because I got rid of everything when I got my new phone.
No worries.
But I do have our conversation as of recently.
I think, do you remember the date? Does it show the date of when you would have sent it to him?
Let me look and see what I've got.
Because I think he might have already left the agency by then when you had sent that.
Yeah, I believe he did. I believe he had left. But he told me he was going to get in touch with Jared, but I'm sure things didn't go.
It didn't go very well. It wasn't an amicable departure.
Now, Sam has always been very, very respectful whenever he would talk to us about anything. But I'm trying to see. Okay, he said, I can't see the date on it, but I know it was 10:40 p.m., December 31st, 2020. That's when it was. I had messaged him. I said, I've got someone looking in on this. And he said, what video was this? Thanks for finding this. I said, this is the video Jared released. You guys found this, but said it was a log. ?
Okay, say that date again one more time.
It was December 31st at 10:40 p.m. 2020.
Wow, that was like New Year's.
Yes. That video had just been released like a couple of days before, I believe.
Okay. And I believe it was, I have to check the dates, but I'm pretty sure that was around the time that Sam was departing from, or had departed from that, from Adventures with Purpose.
I agree. And I often wondered if it had anything to do with that.
The departure?
Yeah. I mean, I know that there were several reasons they departed. They didn't agree on a lot of things, but I'm wondering, I can't help but wonder, since it was close to around that time, if they didn't agree on something with that case.
I'm there with you on that. I was thinking the same thing too, especially after watching his son's statement, after he's talked about some of those cases that he talked about.
And if I'm not mistaken, Kelly, you know more than I do. Kyler was there during that, wasn't he?
He was on camera. I saw him too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was there.
Oh. My goodness, ladies. Okay, so then you guys find this thing. You tell Sam. Did you guys try contacting Jared or just Sam at that time?
Shelly, I believe, tried to contact Jared about it, and things did not go well. Jared did not want to talk about it. He took down the video. Kelly actually has some messages from Jared as well.
Yeah, I sent that to you, I think.
Okay.
It was kind of
look.
more
I don't
like,
think I saw that. Were there
you
the
need
threats?
to tell Shelly to take this down, or I'm getting rid of your sister's story. That paraphrases kind of,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said, you're in the middle of this now.
The threats that kind of came out, I'm going to remove the video type of deal, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Kelly, I hate to ask you this question, but I'm going to ask it anyways. But after you saw that picture, what were your thoughts? What were your feelings of that sonar image?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I was everything. Happy, sad, excited, overwhelmed, hopeful.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot to process.
Did you guys inform law enforcement of that sonar image?
There was somebody that was in the group in the Brooke Allensworth missing group had the picture of the sonar, and she did inform law enforcement.
Do we know, do we have a name for the current detective that's on this case?
Yes.
So then when was the last time you guys spoke with AWP? What was the last, was it with Sam?
I messaged with Sam the other night, but as far as AWP, it was right after the video came out.
So you had a recent message with Sam?
Yes, that's the one I read a minute ago about, let's see, my recent message with Sam. Okay, I'll read it to you from the start.
Okay, sorry, I missed it.
Oh, no, I think I read the wrong one. Okay, so September the 17th of 2021, I messaged him and I said, Sam, I'm so sorry about the whole AWP situation. I know you are a genuine soul. Okay, then November the 11th, which was the other day when I first found out about this whole thing with AWP, I sent him your video. And I said, this was the pic I sent you a while back of the skeleton. He said, yes, I remember. Jared did not want to go back. I'm glad this is being brought up again. Hopefully a local diver will be able to come out and check. That way there's no question. I said, yes, thank you. I said, Shelly doesn't trust anyone but you. She wants you to come. So Jared refused to even discuss the pics with me back then. He said, I do not have the means to be able to come there, nor do I think it would be reasonable for someone to pay my way. I think it would be more beneficial and cost effective to find someone closer that is a professional with no connections to social media or YouTube motives. I'm so tired of families being showcased. Do you know where the closest scuba shop is to that pond? I said, no, Shelly's been trying for 2 years to get help, and even with law enforcement, but they won't do anything. It's crazy. No one wants to touch this case. He said, that's not good. Well, maybe reaching out to one of the lesser known YouTube divers might unfortunately be the only option. If she still has that video, you could probably figure out the location or at least get a rough idea. I don't remember the ponds being deeper than 8 feet, and in most places it was only 5. I haven't known them very long or had many interactions with them. However, I find Adam and Jeremy to seem to have very good morals. Exploring with Nug and Adam Brown Adventures, and I think they have a collaboration channel called Wrecked and Recovered. They might be a good option, or at least worth a shot. That way you could know for once and for all. And I said, thank you so much. I'm so glad you guys took your own paths away from Jared.
I did contact Muddy Water Search and Recovery, and his name is Dennis. I have his information. I'm going to pass it to the both of you guys because I think they're off of Nebraska. I will tell you what happened when I shared those pictures. You know, he saw them, his team saw them, and they were concerned. Do we know if this is Brooke? We don't know, right? We won't know. We don't know what types of remains they are, but they look like remains. That's what we know. Kelly, you had asked me a question about the picture and how I felt. When I shared that information with Dennis, okay, he said it definitely looks like something that needs to be looked at. And when he said that, I got the weirdest feeling. And I said, I can't show these pictures anymore on my channel, at least.
Yeah.
That's just how I feel.
Yeah.
But had you not shown those pictures on your platform, we would not be getting help. And we're very grateful for that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, no. And that was just the one, these other 2 pictures. And I know people have those other pictures and they're going to do what they want to do with them. But for me, for my own, feeling, at least, moving forward, I can't, I'm glad that I brought light to it. I'm glad that it was weird I'm just telling you ladies, when I was searching, I was trying to find, Brooke, somebody said there's a screenshot out there, and I just did a search, and it was one of the first ones that came up. Yeah. And I did not expect that. I did not expect to find any of that.
I mean, I respect your feeling uncomfortableness. I respect that. I understand if you don't,
It is completely uncomfortable for everybody to know.
Yeah.
That,
yeah.
I definitely want to report updates. Like anything that Dennis tells me, I'm going to report. And you guys give me updates. And, it's okay, Mama. We're gonna do our best to report those. But as far as like, let me showcase those, continue to showcase the sonar pictures, I don't want to. You know, my goal was to get it over to the right people, and I feel like the right people have them at this point.
Yeah, that's good.
That was my goal. You know,
that's important.
That's understandable.
Right. Everything else is just social media, and if that's your whoever we don't know, it could be somebody else. You know,
especially in this part of the country.
Right.
You never know.
I didn't know. See, this is just, I didn't know the historic background to those ponds as well. So truly, it could be just about anything at this point, you know?
Right.
Our main goal is to find Brooke, and we want to go about it very carefully. We want to be respectful of, you know, other people and things like that. That's all.
The only person that needs to be involved in this, as far as like the spotlight, is Kelly.
Yeah.
Her family. You know, just simply because that is, I mean, she wants her found, and all these other people that want, you know, we have several that are saying things. It's not their place. It's Kelly's place. It's Kelly's sister.
Right. I would have to agree with that, Caprice. And if Dennis had to go to the property, would you be able to meet up with him and everything? Make sure that, you know, all the areas are searched as well. Not to make sure of that, but at least to let him know location and stuff like that.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
I would be willing to meet up with him.
So I know this is a serious thing. This is not a bluff. I think, you know what? We'll see what happens. Okay. And we just got to pray. That's all.
Yes, most definitely.
Whew. Ladies, I don't have any other questions for you. I want to thank you guys for your time.
We just want to thank you for bringing it back into the spotlight.
Yeah, thank you for bringing it to the world's attention.
Absolutely. Thank you
I
guys.
hate that it had to come at the expense of young girls getting hurt in the process. I hate that it had to come at that expense, but I'm very thankful that it has been brought back.
Well, I mean, and again, not knowing what's going to come next, let's just figure it out. We don't, like I said, remains are remains. We don't know what kinds of remains. We're hopeful that there's some type of progress in this at the very least, and get some attention to it, at least a little bit.
Exactly.
Where we go from here, you know, and then have the right people involved so that they can speak to the facts and not get caught up on all this other stuff, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, you guys have a great rest of your day.